Steve from Theatre Aspen, and this is Marjorie. And Theatre Aspen summer season is fully underway with Annie, the wonderful family musical. It's about an orphan that finds her home. And we are sitting down with Marjorie Treger, who is our beloved director of said musical, to talk about how she found her home in Aspen. So, congrats on opening night. Thanks last night. It was fantastic. So I know you hail from San Diego, so how did you become involved with Theatre Aspen in Colorado?
Well, my sister, Melinda Hull, who's a Broadway actress, and Paige go way back. They were on a national tour of Chorus Line together like 20 years ago. And so I've known Paige as a family friend for a long time. And then last year, when the person she originally signed up to direct The True Story of the Three Little Pigs wasn't available, she called me and asked me if I would be interested in doing it. And so I brought my family out last summer, and we came out and we had a great time doing it. It was a lot of fun. The kids in the program were fabulous, and it was all teenagers from the Theatre Aspen program last summer. And then this summer, she invited me back to do Annie with a full professional cast, and so I was thrilled to have that opportunity.
Yeah, that's great. So how did you pick Annie, or what attracted you most about the show?
You know, Annie's a classic. It's kind of a war horse in some ways, but it still is such a relevant story, especially for where we are right now. When you make a comparison between FDR and the New Deal and the change in leadership in America today with Obama and the hope behind that, and the recession and the depression, there's still just so many elements in Annie that are relevant in our lives today, and the message of having hope and looking forward to a tomorrow and realizing that even when things are at their bleakest, we need to have hope and we need to keep reaching for that tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. So it's a very classic piece of theater, but is that what you would like your audience, is that what you found most important as a director to portray, or was, you know, it's hard to recreate, like you don't want to dress people up in clown costumes, it's a classic musical, it's a period musical, but what was your, like, driving vision for directing?
I wasn't interested in ever doing Annie. You know, you think Annie and you think little girls screaming tomorrow, you know, and really ruining their voices and that sort of thing. And that wasn't what I was interested in doing at all. As a director, I'm most often interested in telling small human stories and then sharing those with an audience. And I think that at its core, this Annie is a production that is the love story between, it's a love story between two orphans looking for a family, between Daddy Warbucks and little orphan Annie, and they find each other miraculously in this world to make a complete family. And Annie's always been looking for that family, and Warbucks has been looking for that connection as well too, but he didn't know it. And so telling that story and really creating a little jewel box production of it in a more naturalistic, as naturalistic as you can get in a musical environment, and telling that story was really interesting to me and appealing.
Wonderful. Now, speaking of directing, you're from San Diego, you've done over 70 productions around the country. What makes Aspen, or working in Aspen, or living in Aspen, special, or at least different and unique in your directing career?
Well, Aspen is such a unique town, and it really is that small town sense of community, and you meet people on the street that everybody knows each other, and they really seem to be coming out to support theater, and they really believe in Theatre Aspen and believe in what's going on here. You can't beat the climate in the summer. I think it's just gorgeous. If it weren't for the cottonwood and my allergies, it would be perfect. But it's lovely to be here and being able to just walk around town, not needing a car, being part of that community, being part of the 4th of July celebration, which is such a hometown, homegrown kind of experience. It's really a lot of fun.
Yeah, totally. Now, what some people might not notice or read their playbill quickly enough is that not only were you the director, but also a choreographer, which is 2 jobs in their own right. Maybe we should be paying you double. But what does it mean to put both those hats on at the same time?
Well, in some ways, well, the reason I agreed to choreograph Annie is because it's not a big dancey dance show. It's more movement, and I'm comfortable doing that. And in some ways, it's easier in that I have control over exactly what I want to see on stage, and you don't have another voice trying to communicate with to make sure you're getting what you want out of the performance. That said, there are many times I thought, wow, I really should have a choreographer here. And Melinda Cohen, who plays Lily in the show, stepped up, and she was our dance captain in the show, and she's also just incredibly talented, and she helped a great deal with the choreography, especially working with the orphans and turning them into a unison kind of dance team. So that was awesome.
Maybe you can choreograph the construction crew after this.
Yeah.
Now, the comedian W.C. Fields once said, never work with animals and children, and you were fortunate enough to work with both on this production.
Yes, yes.
What was that like?
Animals and children in a tent. Yeah, it's kind of like doing the circus, you're right. Actually, my background is in theater education, and I'm an educator first and foremost. And so I'm used to working with kids. I love animals. And we were really lucky with Zoo, the mountain rescue dog, to come and do these performances. He takes commands without treats, so that's a special kind of skill that a dog has. And working with the kids, it's such a delight seeing them grow over the process, and especially with Julia Ferran, who's playing Annie, teaching her little mini lessons about acting and theater history throughout the process, and seeing her make those leaps. It's just so satisfying to me. I'm used to that level of chaos. I'm a wife and a mother and a teacher and a director, and so I can handle all of those hats at once.
You can handle that
I
sort
can
of
handle
hat. Now, I know I saw you spend many hours in the rehearsal room and many nights here. When you're ever outside of the theater, are there any special things you like to do in Aspen? I know this is your second summer here.
Well, I love to eat. There's a lot of great places to eat in Aspen. I spent many mornings at Papa Doc's eating. It was very good. Having their specialty pancakes and Grand Marnier French toast. So yummy, so yummy. And I love going to consignment shops around here, going to Susie's.
You're a true artist.
I am, right? I go to Susie's and Amber's and go to the Aspen thrift store right next to the firehouse, and just walking around town. I also bought a week pass to go up on the gondola, and kind of that meditation of riding up there and then seeing and looking at the gorgeous view. And really lovely. Just some great things to do here in Aspen.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Marjorie. The show is phenomenal. It's Annie. It runs through
August 20th.
She knows it better than I do. So come to Theater Aspen.
The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your